What's up, everybody? This is KJ, and I am here to give you my Week 3 Team Builder analysis for the TBA matchup against Brendan and the Vegas Corviknights, or Vegas Golden Corviknights, sorry. I think it's a play on a hockey team. So, yeah, this team is very good. He's currently 2 and 0 with a plus 10 differential, so we're going to be up for a good fight. I think that's actually the highest differential in the league currently. So, yeah, and so he has a team of Landers, Therian, Azelf, Vaporeon, Galarian Weezing, Klefki, Type Null, Mega Charizard X, Zeraora, Shaman, Hitmonlee, Cursula. So right away, we look at this team, and a well-positioned Zeraora is terrifying. It doesn't matter if it's physical or special. It has coverage for everything on my team. We're definitely in a rough spot here. So, yeah, mocks for this match did not go super well. But again, just gonna give it our best shot here. Yeah, so let's get into the team. Alright, so we got Tapu Fini. This Tapu Fini lives a Plasma Fists from, I believe, Life Orb Zeraora. So, and then we have the rest in Special Attack. Bringing Taunt for Vaporeon, and Nature's Madness for some of his other bulkier things. I think his obvious switch-ins to Tapu Fini are, just looking at it, they're either Vaporeon or Shaman. So we want to make sure that we can hit both of those, especially where we can pretty much hit everything else with Tapu Fini pretty well. So let's go into Porygon 2. So Porygon 2 is actually like the key to this match. Porygon 2 is, we're going defensively bulky for things like Landorus and Charizard X. We've got the Ice Beam to hit Lando. We have Recover just to recover some of the chip back. Tri Attack, and that is just to hit things neutrally, especially things like Galarian Weezing, which with Galarian Weezing, like, that's another mon. When I first started building for this matchup, I was like, wow, I don't hit this thing well, and it does a lot back. It's with access to things like Will-O-Wisp, Toxic, that hurt a lot of my team. So yeah, a support Galarian Weezing definitely hurt. So just being able to, with the Tri Attack, chip away at that on a switch or something like that. And then we got Foul Play mostly for like setup Mega Charizard X. If he starts to set up, and the idea is if he gets too greedy with the setup, then Foul Play, especially considering that we're analytic, so we get a 1.3 boost, will do a significant amount of damage, if not OHKO. I don't remember the exact calc, but yeah. And because we're analytic, we're going with the Quiet Nature, just to give us a little less speed. Alright, so now we're going with the Choice Scarf Togekiss. So the idea here is we'll be able to outspeed most of the team. Basically, his fast mon is Zeraora, so we want to make sure that we can outspeed Zeraora. Other than that, we want to make sure that we have as much attack investment as possible. We're going Air Slash for flinch opportunities, Extra Sensory to hit Weezing, Flamethrower to hit things like Klefki, and then we have Trick just in case we need to trick this Scarf onto something like Vaporeon or Weezing or Klefki or even Type Null. So I think that's a reasonable set. And yeah, we just kind of got to go from there, and hopefully the end goal is Togekiss can kind of clean up at the end. Or like the end goal is Togekiss to clean, rather, late game. But it's definitely, it's one of those things where if Zeraora is scarfed, like, that could be an absolute nightmare. Zero Aura just puts so much pressure, and by if he scarfed it, he would be able to sort of invest in more bulk and really punish things and throw off calcs. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully that is not the case, but I don't think there's a shot that he doesn't bring Zero Aura to this game. It just hits my team like play rough, close combat, knock off, electric stab, just obliterates my team. Yeah, so anyway, let's get back into the team. So we got Shuckaberry, Wish U-Turn, Ice Punch, Iron Head, Jirachi. The idea here was we wanted to be able to outspeed, or or at least potentially speed tie with things like Shaman and Megazord X. With the Shuckaberry, we live an Earthquake from Lando. We have Ice Punch. It does not, with the Intimidate boost, Ice Punch is a 2-hit KO. With a little bit of chip, Ice Punch could OHKO, or could kill from that range if I'm not intimidated. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. But yeah, fairly standard Jirachi, and yeah, we're running 202 attack, and yeah, the HP investment is definitely to try to make sure that we're in a good spot with the Earthquakes. Specifically, I don't remember exactly the exact calc, but I think we're in a good spot with Wheezing as well, with the Iron Heads, with the attack. So yeah, let's go into also knockoff from Zero Aura. That's the other thing. Knockoff from Zero Aura, knockoff from Landorus. Those also do not OHKO Jirachi because of the health investment. That's why there's some HP investment as well. Okay. So now we got Mega Ampharos. Bringing Cotton Guard and Agility. This is interesting. The Agility with the speed investment brings us to, I believe it's 362 speed, which outspeeds the Azelf, which has base 115 speed, I believe. So that's something that we're trying to definitely make sure that can stop. Got the 100 HP investment, and so this is so that after Cotton Guard, end up in a situation where not close combat, Play Rough from Zero Aura is a 3-hit KO. So the idea is if we can like get Ampharos in and Cotton Guard on a switch, doing good things. Per usual, it's going to be a little tricky. Need to make sure to play around the Misty Terrain, and that's one of the things that with this team is kind of hard, with Mega Ampharos not having a ton of coverage. Misty Terrain weakening Dragon Pulse is super unfortunate, and again, it's something that I've been aware of. I took Tapu Fini as value, and it's sort of conflicting. So there might be some transactions coming in the future, but we'll have to figure that out. And then the last one we got here is Crobat, and so heavy duty boots just in case, bring it in. Then Defog, again speed creeping as Elf, and rolling with Super Fang just to chip away at things. This team, honestly, like looking at his team, it's literally just, it's like you've got a pivot in Lando, you've got Zero Aura who is also pivoting and breaking some of the mons on other teams, and then you have things like Unburden Hitmonlee and Mega Charizard that can just like come in late game and either set up or outspeed everything and just like push buttons. And then you've got things like, then everything else is basically a wall. You have Technol, you have Klefki. With Technol with Eviolite is incredibly bulky. You have Klefki for just like general shenanigans and hazard setting, priority hazard setting, and priority like Thunder Wave and stuff like that. Then you have Azelf, which is a incredible like suicide lead, gets rocks, gets explosion. So yeah, there's that, and then you have other walls with Vaporeon and Wheezing. So it's just like running Super Fang this week to just try to chip away at some of that. That's sort of a big thing. And if he does go with the Klefki with screens, Infiltrator to make sure that we're not worried about that. Last week, if you watched the game against Bubba, you'll know that if I had U-turn on Crobat, things would have been a lot better because I would have been able to position a lot better. So running U-turn this week. And then we got Brave Bird to hit Shaman. So, and depending on the Shaman, I think that's usually a 2 KO. So, yeah, this is the squad. It's definitely, this is going to be a tough match. I mean, Brendan's a solid player, as well as the fact that his team is just so bulky, and it's just a bad matchup. So, Zero Aura is going to, Zero Aura is going to be a problem. It also, I believe, has not died on the season yet, so that's another thing to just kind of keep an eye out for. But yeah, so I'll be back with the game analysis. We're playing sometime later tonight, so we'll see what happens. All right. What's up? So we are here with the battle, the Week 3 TBA Season 3 battle against Brendan. So as you can kind of see, he brought a team. He brought many things we were worried about. He brought the Zero Aura. He brought the Landers, which was worried about, but not super worried about. And then he also brought the Wheezing, so that's going to be kind of a pain. But we got answers for it. Let's go through the battle, see what happens. So, all right. So going through, I'm just thinking, okay, Jirachi lead is the play. We have Ice Punch. Ideally, we can pivot out. We do live anything from... We live an Earthquake. And yeah, so go from there. So, just going in turn 1, the Jirachi. He leads the Lando, and I'm thinking he's going to click Earthquake here for some reason. But he clicks Knockoff, and that was sort of the first mistake. Click U-turn there. Should have clicked Ice Punch. That would have gotten good chip. But instead of going to Porygon 2, he hard switches into Wheezing, which makes sense. We get good chip, and we realize that this Wheezing doesn't have a ton of special bulk, but he gets the Sludge Bomb and go for Tri Attack just because it hits everything pretty well. And then he Pain Splits here, which was kind of annoying. Didn't expect that. We'll go for the Ice Beam again. And so, expecting him to Pain Split again, going to Jirachi. And he actually Sludge Bombs, which, that's fine. And then here was the obvious play, was he was going to switch into Lando. Should have went for the Ice Punch. Instead went for the Iron Head, which, huge mistake there. So 2 opportunities to basically get rid of the Lando. And I kind of expected him to go for another knockoff, so I thought Crobat was probably the best case because it didn't really seem like he was looking to set up rocks because he was Scarf Lando. So here I'm thinking he's going to click Electric Move, which he did because it's pretty free against his team. Going to Ampharos, and it takes it fairly well. He Volt Switches out, which is fine, and whatever comes in is yeah, so just thinking there, I was like, I don't know why. I figured that something else would come in because the Thunderbolt would kill, but that wasn't the case. I wanted to cover for the Lando switch in, so now he goes into Lando. And here we have to pivot out back into Jirachi, and at this point I was thinking, okay, we kind of just sacked Jirachi off, but it actually lives on 1, so that's fine. He goes into Zero Aura, and this gives him a free Volt Switch, but we didn't want to switch into anything, especially everything being weak to Zero Aura, which, just going through this, Zero Aura was a huge problem for my team in general. I had like 4 Mons weak to Electric, so it wasn't great. And so here, I should have predicted that and went with the Nature's Madness, not thinking there. And so here, I'm like, okay, he's that. So we go into Scarf Togekiss. Leech Seeds, that's fine. We're not really too worried about that. We pressure this with an Air Slash, so that's fine. He goes into Zero Aura, which was expected. And we Air Slash there. If we would have Flamethrowered, then the Zero Aura would have died to the 2 Flamethrowers, so that's a huge misplay there. But need to keep Scarf Togekiss, so go into Ampharos, and Ampharos takes that pretty well. He goes for the Play Rough, and that was unfortunate, but he was actually Expert Belt, so there was no way we were living that regardless. I believe he was Expert Belt anyway. So go back into Togekiss, and here's where click Flamethrower. That actually does decent damage to the Shaman. But Crobat actually can OHKO with Brave Bird, so we go into Crobat here. He goes into Lando, and I was expecting this to basically, do exactly that. So he misses the Stone Edge, which was good RNG in our favor. You turn out and go into Feeny. And honestly, here I should have doubled back into Crobat, expecting the Shaman, but instead go for another Surf. So that was dumb. The way that I played Feeny here was just bad, to be quite honest. So going to Crobat here, that's fine. He goes for the Leech Seed. That's totally okay. And now pretty much anything he switches in here is taking big damage from Brave Bird. So that was kind of the play. Just click Brave Bird and hope for the best. So we get the kill on the Lando, which was pretty big. He goes into the Zero Aura here. Now here, I should have just sacked Crobat. But instead, and I knew that Tapu Fini lived a Plasma Fist. So if I sack Crobat there, and then I just click, I bring Fini in after, and just click Ice Beam, then we get rid of, like, I'm pretty sure, based on the set that he was running with, that 2 Ice Beams would have been able to handle the Shaman. But yeah, he goes in to the Hitmonlee, and so at this point I'm like, okay, well, depending on what he is, it's gonna be a problem. He's Life Orb, so I know that he's gonna be able to take us out. But we get good chip here. So he goes for High Jump Kick and takes out the Porygon, loses more HP, which is fine. And so here I go into Togekiss, and now I just need to hit the Air Slash, and I miss. And that is probably gonna do it. So he has Mach Punch on. That was unfortunate, but I think the right play there was to go back into the Crobat, because the Mach Punch doesn't kill the Crobat. Like, even 2 Mach Punches wouldn't have killed Crobat. And at that point, we still have the Scarf Togekiss, even if it was at 4. And so would have had a better shot. But all in all, I think the way that I played Feeny, as well as just like how I kept Crobat alive for some reason, really was the reason that lost this game. I think if I played the Feeny, and also just like the reads on the Jirachi also hurt big time. Like, I should have expected the knockoff. And honestly, expecting a Lando lead, I think the biggest thing was expecting a Lando lead. I should have led Feeny. The problem was the like Zero Aura in Mox absolutely blew my team back. There was no way to stop it. And this was a huge problem. But I mean, great game. Brendan moved to 3-0 with this win, so good on him. And yeah, we'll just have to do better next week. We're playing Inute and I believe the Victinis, so we'll see what happens. All right, thanks everybody.